Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me for a visit to Congaree National Park as we kick off our second season of Vanlife. As we start along the Boardwalk Loop, we'll get straight into the park summary. Congaree was established as a national park in 2003 by President George W. Bush. For visitation, the park sees a little less than 250,000 visitors annually. As for features, Congaree protects the largest tract of old-growth bottomland forest in the United States and is home to a large number of champion trees, which are the tallest trees of a particular tree species. For wildlife, there are alligators, turtles, a variety of birds. There can be some deer, bobcats even, but Congaree is also home to a large concentration of the deadliest animal known to man, which is of course the mosquito. They actually have a mosquito meter here, but fortunately succumbing to malaria is quite rare in this country. You're probably most interested in the fireflies, and I'll go ahead and speak about them now. Now, I visited after the synchronous firefly season, which typically occurs during 2 weeks between mid-May and mid-June each year. We'll take a look at some footage here from the National Park website, and you can see it's a pretty cool phenomenon. The flashing is mating behavior where the males flash, so to speak, the females, and then the females flash back. I will quickly mention there's a lottery to participate at the park event for the synchronous fireflies. The lottery opens in the first week of April, and it fills up pretty quick, so you've got to get your entry in on recreation.gov the day it opens. And you can visit the park website for the complete info regarding the synchronous firefly lottery. Getting back to the park summary, for weather, Congaree does get hot and humid in the summer, but you're in the shade pretty much everywhere in the park, and you do also need to watch for rain, which I'll speak more about at the end of the video. And finally, for cell service, Congaree is not too far to the southeast of Columbia, South Carolina, the state capital, so you should have cell service throughout the park. Now let's take a quick look at the park map. Congaree is a fairly simple national park. You do have a couple trails there to the extreme east. The main area of Congaree is located in the northwest of the park, just right on the visitor center. We will hike along the Boardwalk Trail here, and we'll also venture along the Sims Trail out to Wise Lake. You can see to the south of the park is the Congaree River, which is where Congaree gets its name. It was named after a Native American tribe. Now let's get back to the Boardwalk Trail. I hope you found the summary and overview of the map helpful. Please stick around to the end of the video where I will share my overall recommendation for Congaree, including if Congaree should even be a national park, and pass along a couple tips. The Boardwalk Trail is basically set up to where you have some number markers and you get a pamphlet at the visitor center which will give you information on each of the stops. So it's basically a self-tour. I wouldn't recommend only wearing short sleeves and shorts to this park like I am due to the mosquitoes. Looking out the distance, you can see there's some bigger trees here, but none of them really rival the redwoods or sequoia trees in California, and there are no paths off the boardwalk to visit any of those trees. My favorite area of the Boardwalk Trail is the section with the cypress knees, which are the little knobs that you see here. I thought it was kind of an interesting visual. Getting to stop 5 here, this plant, which looks a little like bamboo, is actually known as switch cane. Now we'll continue along. Here at stop 11 is a lobby pine tree, which is over 150 feet tall. Now we'll get to the first of our 2 lakes. Here is Weston Lake. Congaree was formerly known as Congaree Swamp National Monument. Now, swamps are typically permanent wetlands, so there's always water there unless you have a significant drought. Congaree is actually bottomland, which is a low-lying flat area of land that's adjacent to a river, and so it typically only floods after heavy bouts of rain, or if for some other reason the water level of the river rises. So calling Congaree a swamp isn't quite accurate. Also, the process of establishing the park began in order to stop further logging of the area.
I think that's thunder. I think we have to take a shortcut.
I learned there's actually an air base that's not too far from the park, so you will hear jets here, which messed me up a little bit because I didn't pick up on some thunder that moved into the area.
Congaree so far has been alright. I keep hearing jets, and I also think I'm hearing thunder, so I'm going to take a little shortcut to this other lake, and we're going to skedaddle back to the van. Check in with you in a bit.
As we hike over to Wise Lake, I'll go ahead and get into the recommendation and top tips for Congaree National Park. I'm not going to delight in bashing this park. Congaree is, in my opinion, the worst national park in the contiguous United States, and it really shouldn't be a national park. The national park label carries a certain expectation of a transcendent experience, in my opinion, and whether that's seeing an incredible sunset from a scenic overlook or a visually striking natural feature, Congaree doesn't quite offer anything like that. I'm not actually sure if you can even see sunrise or sunset at this park. This park lacks a distinctive icon, and the magic moment with the fireflies only happens a few weeks out of the entire year. You can actually see synchronous fireflies in other areas of the United States, most notably Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and to be honest, you're better off seeing the fireflies in that park because that park just offers quite a bit more than you get here. Unless you just love trees or need to get that park stamp, there's really no reason to visit this park. If national park status is needed to protect the area, then fine, but even on TripAdvisor, Congaree is only ranked 37th on the list of best things to do in South Carolina. If I'm missing something, please let me know in the comments. For top tips, it floods here on average 10 times a year. Before coming here, you should check the flood stage on the park website and also check the weather, because when I say it floods, the entire park can be non-accessible. Second, if you do come out here, you can really walk the Boardwalk Trail in less than 2 hours if you really want to, so you can easily see everything in the park in just an afternoon. Finally, for boondocking, as the park is fairly close to Columbia, there are a variety of Walmarts and Planet Fitnesses there in the city, so boondocking should be fairly easy. We're going to hike on back. I was going to hike on out to the river, but I started to be able to distinguish thunder from military jets. At this point, I was about 2 miles away from the visitor center, and I unfortunately only made it about a half mile before the rain started absolutely pouring. Whew. Well, that was something else. My luck ran out beating the rain there. I had to hike about 1.5 miles in some pouring rain. It hurt when the water hit you, like almost like a BB gun, just boom. Anyways, so there's a sign when you're leaving Congaree. It says, "Have you had enough of Congaree Park?" And I thought to myself, yes, I have enough of Congaree Park. I don't need to go to the app or whatever to find out more about it. Anyways, I'm out here working for you guys, getting soaking wet. I hope that's worth a like. And if you want to see more stuff like this, please subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications. This is my 27th national park. I went to 26 last year, and we're going to try to go to at least 24 this year to get to at least 50. So I appreciate it so much if you please subscribe and check out some of my other videos. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks and take care. Bye.